It's going to be Cheez, the godfather of rolling. He started all this nonsense. Oh my God. Against Myles the Great, who is the world's greatest TikToker. And who is a pretty darn good roller himself. Incredible. Cheez and Myles. Cheez, of course, the godfather of rolling, and Myles, the great TikToker and an accomplished roller himself. So we are going to get underway and count this down. Classic Tetris Monthly Masters event. The red bracket match between Cheez and Myles. 3, 2, 1, Tetris. Now, of course, Cheez coming off of a world record. I mean, he's several world records, or at least a few, that I know of. But setting one just yesterday. Today is February 9th, although I guess I shouldn't say that because you don't want to age the video. But this is February 9th. And let's see, rip stream right now. It's recording. Great. It's exactly what we want to happen. All right, we refresh everything. We should be okay. Thankfully, we didn't miss much. So it is February 9th here in the United States. And just yesterday, Cheez set a world record from a 29 start. Now, of course, the game doesn't on its own allow a 29 start, but certainly there are extended world records, and there are ways, Game Genie codes or through practice versions of the game that have been developed to start on level 29. And of course, you can see why these players would want to practice on 29 because it's so consequential. Well, Cheez set a world record yesterday from a 29 start with the highest score achieved from a 29 start. It was 1.38. So not only just a max out, but a 1.3 from a 29 start. Can you imagine? Even a year ago, if we had said that someone got a 1.38 from a 29 start, that is insane. And as far as we know, yeah, Pumpy's saying in chat, as far as you know, it's the first just straight up max out from a 29 start. And of course, it's a 1.38, which is crazy. All right, we are up to about 40 lines. 154 for Cheez, 152 for Myles. So these are medium paces here. Usually through about 40 lines, you'd like to be, at or around 200,000. So they are off pace by a couple of Tetrises each. But that's okay. We forgive. We got a little bit of a stencil here, so I will try my best to do my duty to God and my country. Oh, wait, no, that's the Boy Scout oath. There we go. Fix up stencil just a little bit. No problem. Stencil fixed. To obey the Scout law and something or else. I forget how it goes. And Cheez, of course, not only with that world record, but does have the overall just score world record from a, any legal start with a 2.3 million, which is just insane. 2.34 million points. I mean, why even say 2.34? Just say 2.3. Or just say 2. I mean, whatever. I mean, no one's even close. 301 here for Cheez, 280 for Myles the Great. Yep. And of course, along with Cheez's world record. Oh, there you go. T-spin setup. No problem. Just set up an intentional T-spin. Whatever. But along with Cheese's score, oh, that was not exactly what Cheese wanted to do. 370 here for Cheese, 353 for Myles, who is still clean here, trying to avoid making a long bar dependency, but it's going to have to put some gaps in here just from the distribution of pieces. So we're going to have to bring this down. This is going to allow Cheese to jump out a little bit more. But yeah, along with Cheese's score record, we've got, he also hit a lines record, as you would imagine, from 29. 516 lines from 29, which is insane. And at least in terms of, official tournaments and stuff like that, Myles has never beaten Cheese in competition. Now, maybe in, friendlies or whatever, those kind of things, but not in CTM or CTL. So that stream stuff is not my side. That is not happening on my side, so I can't do anything about that. $512 here for Cheese, $416 for Myles. Cheese going to transition here, $540. There's one for Myles, looking for one more. But it will be a sub 500 transition, which usually looking to get at least, 500s there would be a good benchmark. And there is the Tetris for Myles, 489. Cheese up a little bit high, flinging pieces around. You can see both players wearing gloves, both players rolling. Drumming their fingers at the back of the controller, driving it into thumb on the other hand. 608 here for Cheese on level 21. Myles still on 20. Cheese, on our board anyway, 15 lines ahead. There could be some internet reasons for that. But at least on our board, that's how it looks, so... This is all theater of the mind, so we'll just assume that's what reality is. All right, so Cheese going to burn away some garbage here. So, obviously both of these players have playability after level 28. Oh, that placement for that S for Myles is going to set him back a few burns. But again, he's got lines in hand, and I think there's a real sense in which Myles got a, quote, pace lead. Certainly not as pronounced when both players can play post 29, but it is real. It's pretty close. I think it's pretty neck and neck right now. They are separated by, well, actually 110,000 points and, 14 to 12 lines at any given time. Cheese here on 25 at 799. And we'll see at 200, Cheese is at 834, so we'll see where Myles is. Yeah, I would say Cheese has the lead now anyway, because Myles been burning a bit. And yeah, so three Tetrises here would put him at about high 700. So yeah, Cheese with the pace lead right now. And he's into level 27. Kind of a delayed burn situation here that did not materialize. So that's going to be some extra burning for Cheese. Myles taking a single off the right side. Getting set up. Tetris for Myles, 795. Cheese with the Tetris, 922 here on 28. So no max out before the kill screen for either one of these players. And Cheese into 29 here at 962. Myles board getting a little scary. Tetris down at the bottom. He's going to have to throw a long bar down there. Now, is he going to build off the bottom? He's going to go for one of those Tetris. He's got it. Cheez now into level 30 at 983. Myles set up for a dirty Tetris, and it could sacrifice his entire board for this. And you wonder if he'd just be better served burning this down. Cheez into level 31 at 994. And Myles is going to enter 29 very awkwardly. He's gotten pretty much no chance to do much at all. And Cheez is going to be good. Is piled on pieces here post 28, but did not need them. And that is going to be a heart for Cheez. And we'll see if these players dunk on each other or what. And he's just going to let it go because, you know what, we're going to sit here for another 300 lines, right? Let's count it down. It is game 2 here in this matchup between Cheez and Myles. 3, 2, 1, Tetris. Excuse me. There we go. Alrighty, Roo, we are underway. Yeah, Pumpy, you're gonna have to go ahead and grab a photo of one of our players from a previous tournament here. Players, of course, not obligated to be on face cam, but do have to have at minimum hand cam. We have $2,100 in the prize pool, amazingly. So we do insist on a little bit of few security measures here. Someone in chat asking, hey, can I contribute to this tournament if I'm watching on YouTube? Yes, you can. So we do have a prize pool here. It is facilitated by a website called Match Arena, which allows you to contribute. It's not a donation, or you're not a nonprofit, but you can contribute to the prize pool. And if you're watching on YouTube, the link is in the description. So you guys on YouTube, you are part of this. You know, I've always, pretended to have this friendly kind of rivalry or fake, trolling YouTube and stuff like that. But you guys, certainly when we started posting on here, you guys became part of this. So if you're watching here, you're certainly able, encouraged, and whatever to show your support to these players and to Classic Tetris Monthly. You're really only part of this when we need money. No, I'm just kidding. It's a joke. Uh-oh. See, you got to understand humor, guys. All right, 275 for Cheez, 238 for Myles. $298 through 55 lines. And, 65 lines is your halfway to transition milestone. So you double their score, and that gives you, if they were to keep it up, that's what their pace would be. You can see Cheez would be well over 600K pace if he continues this pace, but that is easier said than done. Although I guess getting easier now, year by year, to be consistent. Cheez going to get that J, passing up a few opportunities to resolve that tuck with an S. You see players passing on that. Because if you don't get it, they're very skilled. They can all do it. But if you don't, it's not 100% guaranteed. You'd rather do it with the tuck, which is so much easier, instead of the spin. And it's a big risk if you don't hit it. It can ruin your stack. Cheez with a nice combo 200 IQ burn. He's at 395. Myles 322 through 80. Pumpy really going with this, with these polls in chat, you know, surveys in the Twitch chat. He's hitting them hard. All right, 348 for Myles, 445 for Cheez. Cheez still on a blistering pace. And Myles isn't bad either. I don't think I thanked Scomando72 for the Prime resub. That was about a half hour ago. My apologies. I'm just really, really into these two matchups. So apologies for if I missed anybody's contribution. Also, Rye Chessmaster with the 89 bits back around that time too. Thanks, Rye. All right, we got a little bit of frames happening for one of our players. Maybe if they win some money, they can go get some internet. You know, instead of getting the Taco Bell internet, they could get the, you know, they could get the Qdoba internet or the Chipotle internet. A little bit better. A little bit healthier. All right, Cheez going to Tetris 607 with 2 more Tetrises available before the 19 transition. There's one of them. And Myles up a little bit high. Would like to bring this down a little bit. It's not super consequential, but better safe than sorry, I think. And Tetris for Cheez, 656 transition. So who called it? Vandy called it. Going to use that long bar to fill in dependency instead of getting the Tetris. I'm sure these kids debate this back and forth in their VC as to what they should do, but you're seeing a lot more of players going to fix their stack rather than going for the Tetris. And there's an argument to be made. That was the argument that Jonas made. I remember back in his old streams, Jonas would argue that you should often prioritize stack health, and I remember Heather would say, no, you should never do that. You should always take the Tetris. So they had arguments in the same household. Those were the days. 747 for Cheez, 626 for Myles the Great. All right, Cheez. There we go. Tetris for Cheez. That should bring his stack down just a little bit so he's not scrambling as much. You can see the adjustments here from Cheez. And really, you can move pieces so fast that you can take some of these adjustments. You know, you're playing DAS, you might basically have a piece, you know, kind of locked in, targeted, you know where it's going to go, and then you see something at the last, you know, split moment there. There's really nothing you can do about it. You just got to go with your initial placement. But, you know, when you can move pieces this fast, you're able to take advantage of, you know, that extra split second you have to think. 834 for Cheez, 804 for Myles. Players are pretty darn close in lines. All right, Myles going to open up that right side, reopen it again, get the long bar over there. 841 for each player, and pretty darn close in line still. So it's going to go to the wire. And it's when these players are close and are approaching 29 at basically the same pace. This is when you expect maybe like, oh, are we going to see an extended kill screen battle? I mean, that's what everybody wants. And, you know, at some time, it's going to happen where players will just go and go and go and go. It could be this time. The players are right. The time is right. It could happen. And it will happen eventually. It's just, will it happen today? We don't know. So max out 813 here for Cheez, 995 for Myles. So Myles about 2 Tetrises behind. It's going to be a Tetris for Myles. Cheez filling in. Myles is going to transition. He's on 29 and he's going. He's about 2 Tetrises behind, a little less than 2 Tetrises. Tetris on 29 is worth an even 3,600. Cheez with the 1.1 here on level 30. Myles is continuing to go. Tetris, A85. He's back by about 23,000 points. Myles into level 31. And they both have double 1.1s. Myles going to bring this down. And Myles into 32. Cheez is into 32. Myles with a Tetris here on 32. B51. Myles is now ahead by 17,000 points. Cheez's board is getting a little bit high. Can he bring this down? He's going to chop away on the... Oh, and he's going to get the long part of the right. Oh, perfect pieces there to bring this down. And Cheez is going to bring this down. Myles now is getting up high. Cheez is behind. Myles is going to top out at B63. Cheez needs 6,000 points. And Cheez has a Tetris open here on level 33. Where's the long bar? If it comes, he's going to win. But he might be able to get it anyway. And he's going to get it anyway without the Tetris. Doesn't even need it. And a huge... Whoa, a huge game. Didn't end up getting the Tetris. Was just singling, doubling it out. And Cheez is going to take game 2 on level 34. Holy moly. Any line cappers? I didn't think so. And yeah, thank you so much, guys, for the YouTube clickbait. All right, we got both players already. No need to delay any longer. Cheez up 2-0. Myles needs to win this one to stay in the tournament. Let's go. 3, 2, 1, Tetris. Amazing. You know, it's so... We're in February right now. And we have so many candidates over the first 2 months for, you know, like a moment of the year. And I think it's a little bit easier to remember these, I think, now that we're on YouTube. So it's a great thing that Pumpy has helped us to do, to get on YouTube. So, you know, we probably should start just cataloging now, Pumpy, like what our moments of the year are going to be, and then just kind of, you know, have a little recap or something like that toward the end of the year. I think having the stuff on YouTube has really helped my memory as well, because you know, in the past it was just these Twitch VODs. Of course, they weren't. I was being such an idiot, and I didn't even always save the VODs. So we have some missing CTMs. Like, I'm such an idiot. I just didn't think anybody would care. I don't know. So kind of bad on me, but it's really helped me, because then I go back and I watch them with the community during the premieres, and so a lot of this stuff sticks with me a lot better than it did in the past. So. All right, we are underway and close in score. Tetris Cheez 142. Myles will need a reverse sweep against Cheez. All right, Tetris Myles 192, Cheez at 211, and a Tetris for Cheez. Yeah, players starting, or a lot of fans still ask, they've always asked this question, like when tapping started, they're like, oh, is this the end of 18 starts? Is this the no more 18 starts? Should we just start on 19, but I don't know. I still think that there is enough there for, for 18 starts. The adjustment to go from 18 to 19 is still jarring. It still requires different stacking, and so it, kind of flexes different mental muscles. And you do some players, you see some players struggle a little bit on 18 and misdrop, and then, because of the timings, they're so used to 19 and 29 starts. I still think 18 is the level to start at. That could change. I'm always willing to listen to arguments for things changing and evolving, but right now I still think 18 is where everything should start. 317 for Cheez, 280. See, you got to give people in YouTube comments something to debate a little bit, right? So you got to leave these topics out there so they comment. 340 here for Cheez, 290 for Myles. Cheez, he's going to use that long bar down the right side, and now he's got two more long bars. Oh, he's going to go. You see what he did there with the T? Instead of taking the burn, I think he was had a notion that he was maybe going to build a Tetris out of that situation over on the left side, 4 or 5 rows above, or 5 or 6 rows above, but changed his mind. That's what it looked like to me. Somebody will have to ask him later, but it looks like he was going to do it and thought better of it. 394 for Cheez, 361 for Myles. Olive Lucas, thanks for the Prime sub. Olive Lucas says line cap in big capital letters. Got to admit that previous game definitely took some gas out of the tank. Boy, man, it was intense. All right, Tetris here for Cheez, 486. Myles at 434. So we are coasting toward the level 19 transition, the first level transition. Hopefully not the last. We like our kill screen battles. All right, Cheez at 555. Room for one more. Maybe. There it is. Bang Tetris. 579 transition for Cheez. The godfather of rolling. Of course, really the one to have kind of discovered, developed, the first one to really kind of adapt the butterfly technique used in some other games to an NES controller, and certainly, came to prominence. And a very notable figure online. Everybody recognizes Cheez. And of course, Myles, very notable online for being a very consistent TikToker. I don't know if they're called TikTokers or whatever they're called, but he's on TikTok and he has a pretty good audience. 693 for Cheez, 623 for Myles, and it's pretty much just this: him sitting in a chair and rolling and doing stuff, and people love it. $724 for Cheez, $628 for Myles. Back by a little under 70,000 points. Bang Tetris for Cheez. All right, see, waiting here. Able to wait for just the right piece. Build a little bit higher on 19 and wait just a little bit longer than you otherwise would, even with just, being an average tapper. Although Cheez was never an average tapper. He was above average as well. $846 now for Cheez. $753 for Myles. Oh, Myles there. Whoops. Ended up being a column 9 Tetris. Not sure if accidental or not, but whatever. Same thing. Cheese with some cleanup to do, stashing squares over to the left. And now getting a little dicey, just ripping long bars and other pieces over to the left. It's getting very dicey. But bringing this down, that left side, yes, long bar. Myles, is able now to take a lead because Cheese has been burning. So this is the opening that Myles has needed. Myles has been back, 70, 90,000 points. And Cheese finally giving Myles an opening. And Myles now in the lead and actually has lines in hand. Now, this is going to be a little bit of burning here for Myles. This could allow Cheese, who is now burned through this, basically. Could allow a little bit of an opening here for Cheese to come back. Cheese into level 28 at 923. Myles at 931. Back by a few lines. So technically a lead here. But as you approach 29 and both players can play on it, it matters a little bit less. So here we go. Level 29 for both again. Oh, Myles going to stick a few pieces there in column 3 and 4 and top out Cheese in a chase down situation. Needs to get to A05. He is at 943. And incredibly, this is a lot of runway for Cheese right now, but certainly not guaranteed. A05 is the chase down. Can line this out basically forever. You'd like to see, will these players, build for Tetrises or not, but I'm sure they worry about, there's a mentality where like, oh, do I get it over with now? Do I try to build for it so it's just over? Oh, and you can see that right side of a snarl for Cheese. He's going to have to dig out of this. And that's like 6 or 7 rows up. And oh, that left side is going to be cut off for Cheese, and he's not going to be able to chase this out. He's going to top out, and Myles survives, hangs on with his fingernails, and Myles is still alive in this tournament. GG's. Two players already. Game 4, Cheese, Myles. 3, 2, 1, Tetris. $2,124.30 in the prize pool. It's a record for CTM. And as far as Classic Tetris prize pools, it only, only 3 events have ever had higher prize pools. And that is 2019, 2020, and 2021 CTWC. So rarefied air for this tournament, February 2022 Masters event. And we forget there was a prediction contest that our friend Mark PM0, Mark Migas, has, he does it every month. And this time we're giving away a prize. So whoever, now going into this broadcast, I think it was it Tristop's prediction that was still good? I think it was, I don't know whose it was. It said Tristop. I don't know if it was actually Tristop, but the winner will get a stuffed bear that was made by Crafty Kim, the winner of the prediction contest. So, in the Discord, not the one here in Twitch, but we'll see how it goes. Oh, Tristop didn't predict, so I'm not sure who that predictor was. And we're going to have to get some verification as to who the predictor was, because I guess multiple people could claim it, especially if they don't have an account on Challenge. All right, so we are into the 20s of lines. Cheese, 126. Myles, 60,000, so a little bit of a mini suffer here to start, but it is early yet. Myles going to uncover the right side. He's got a Tetris well waiting there, but no long bar to finish it out, and he's just going to start burning this away. That's going to be a triple for Myles. He'll take it just to get rid of all this nonsense and be out of the situation. But all right, so he is cleared away. 77 for Myles. Cheese up to almost a 100,000 point lead early on. But there's a lot of time to make the stuff up. But then again, You would prefer not to have to make it up. So it is still consequential what happens here. You would like to have some efficiency. All right, Cheez able to turn these lemons into lemonade and get a Tetris and another one. So 247. Up by 142,000 points. And Cheez, yeah, with a little bit of a snarl there up columns 8 and 9. So just going to look to get that Tetris there and then maybe just kind of double and triple out of that. He's going to throw the long bar down there. All right, Cheez setting up some tucks. Columns 1 and 2. Just kind of delayed tuck setups. Man, it's coming out looking great. 306 for Cheez through 80 lines. 201 for Myles, and this is turning into a suffer game. It started out as a suffer. You thought, oh, well, maybe all right. He's out. He's dug out, but no, this is a little bit of a suffer, but you know, there's still a lot of time. There's basically unlimited lines to go. A lot of Tetris to be played. Cheez here in a little bit of a mini slowdown. But now, yeah, Myles left side. He's got a Tetris buried there. He'll take it, but this is going to require a little bit of attention. We'll see if he's going to play a couple off the bottom or if he's just going to take the burns. Yeah, it looks like he's going to try to set up here. And, you know, if you're going to burn 3 singles, you'd much rather take those as a triple anyway. Because if you're going to burn them anyway, you may as well take them as a triple, right? So that's what Myles doing there. 286 for Myles, 430 for Cheez. Tetris Myles 310. And there's one for Cheez. 476, 10 lines to go before the 19 transition. And there's one for Myles. Myles, 14 lines to go. That's basically 4 Tetrises available. So that would be 88,000, just about 90,000 available. So we'll not break 500 for this transition. And Tetris for Myles, 401. 546 transition for Cheez. There is a Tetris for Myles, 424. One more available. And he's going to get it. So 448 transition for Cheez. There's a 100,000 point difference. 4 lines of separation. Cheez going to add to that with a couple of Tetrises quick here. He's now at 600,000 on 20. All right, Cheez or Myles just kind of waiting for that long bar. There it is, 483. Cheez with some digging to do. No good place for the square. Just going to have to dump it to the right. And this should give Myles a little bit of an opening, maybe to get some of this back. And Myles with a Tetris. And kind of a parity situation there. Has to set up an intentional T-spin setup. And yeah, it throws a long bar into the T-spin just as the T was showing up in the window. One more piece and Cheez could be out of this. That piece is not going to come though. So Cheez will still be burning. Okay, Myles offline. We're going to keep it right here. Myles, if you can hear me, keep playing. Cheez, keep playing. Clearly, since we're seeing the Twitch thing there, that is not my side. That is on Myles' side. That's that Arizona internet. So we'll see. Sometimes they come back. Sometimes it just comes right back. So we're going to have Cheez continue this game. This would count. And we're just kind of hoping that Myles doesn't do, you know, kind of. All right, so yeah, Myles coming back here at 739 here on 25. So about a 50,000 point lead. Somehow he went away and made up about 70,000 points, no problem. 771 here for Myles on level 26. And this is what happens when you've got, you know, all the vagaries of different people's internets from all around the world, and that's okay. Just par for the course. Tetris for Myles, 839, back by less than 50,000 points now. And really, I mean, it's effectively neck and neck. Myles has a few lines in hand. A little bit dicey situation here for Myles, though. All right. We've got multiple things to think about. 908 for Myles, 957 Cheez here on 28. Both players into 28. It's a nice long bar for Myles. And he's set up for a Tetris this close to 29. Because a long bar here would do it. Not getting the bar. Of course, the long bar not on time. Cheez with the max out here into 29. Tetris on 29. 839. Myles getting droughted. There's a dirty Tetris into 29 for Myles. But high up on the board. And another one. 994 into level 30. And now just needs to stay alive and just get, you know, reset. Myles. Cheez is going to top out A44. Myles has a chance, but can he get a piece over? I don't know if he can. And he cannot. Cheez topped out at A44. Myles is going to top out just over a max out here on level 30. And couldn't do it. Was so close. Had an opportunity. If his board had been lower and fewer gaps, he might have been able to chase this down. But that is going to do it for Myles the Great. And he is great. But at this moment, not as great as Cheez. So GG's to you, Myles. Hope to see you again. I'm sure we will see you here again. But for now, it's going to be Cheez. Moving on to round 2 of the red bracket. Give that kid his heart. He earned it. Hey everybody, this is your old pal Vandweller, host of Classic Tetris Monthly. If you like this video, hit thumbs up. If you want to see more videos like it, please subscribe and bang that notification bell. And follow us on Twitch at twitch.tv/monthlytetris. Thank you, and have a nice day.